Ladies, let's talk about the kind of love we all deserve. A love that uplifts, inspires, and brings out the best in us. A love where both partners are allowed to be their authentic selves. But here's the truth that no one tells you attracting the kind of man who can give you this love starts with you. It starts with your relationship with yourself. I know it might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. We live in a world that constantly tells us to look outward for validation, to chase after someone who will complete us. But the real secret is that the foundation of attracting quality men is first rooted in the way we view and love ourselves. Here's the thing, if you don't honor and respect yourself, if you don't know your worth, how can you expect someone else to see it? You are not here to fulfill someone else's needs, to be someone's project, or to wait for someone to save you. You are already whole, already worthy, and already deserving of a love that mirrors that. When you align with your own worth, you radiate an energy that will attract the kind of man who sees you for who you truly are. Self-love and self-respect are the cornerstones of any healthy relationship, whether with yourself or with another person. They are not just buzzwords or trends, they are essential practices that shape the way you show up in the world and the way the world shows up for you. When it comes to attracting a quality man, it all begins here within you. How you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, and how you protect your own well-being directly impact the energy you bring to the table in your relationships. Self-love isn't just about taking bubble baths, getting massages, or indulging in the occasional treat, though those things can certainly help. True self-love is about cultivating a deep, unwavering sense of worth and acceptance within yourself. It's about making the conscious decision to honor who you are exactly as you are without waiting for someone else to validate you. It's about choosing to see your own beauty, power, and potential not in a conceited way, but from a place of genuine respect and care. When you love yourself, you start to make decisions from a place of what's best for you, rather than constantly seeking outside approval or looking to others for your sense of value. You begin to set healthy boundaries, say no to things and people that drain or diminish your energy, and say yes to opportunities that nurture and elevate you. Self-love means giving yourself permission to prioritize your needs without guilt, to give yourself grace when you make mistakes, and to be kind to yourself even in the face of imperfection. Self-love is not about being perfect or having it all together. It's about knowing that you are worthy of love, care, and respect in spite of your flaws. It's recognizing that you do not need to earn love or prove your worth to anyone. You are inherently valuable, and your value is not contingent upon meeting other people's expectations or standards. This deep sense of self-worth radiates outward, creating an energy that attracts people who see and honor you for who you truly are. And this is where self-respect comes into play. Self-respect is how you actively uphold your boundaries, your values, and your needs in the world. It's about standing up for yourself and not compromising on your core beliefs. When you respect yourself, you refuse to tolerate disrespect or mistreatment from others. You don't settle for relationships that don't align with your values or that compromise your peace of mind. When you have self-respect, you communicate your needs clearly and confidently. You expect nothing less than kindness, honesty, and integrity from those around you. You don't need to chase after love or approval because you already know that you deserve to be treated with dignity and consideration. This self-respect serves as a filter, helping you attract people who share your values and who understand the importance of mutual respect in a relationship. Here's the beauty of self-love and self-respect. When you embody these qualities, you create an energetic space that naturally draws the right kind of people toward you. Quality men are not attracted to someone who is insecure or constantly seeking validation from others. They are attracted to someone who knows their worth, who stands firm in their beliefs, and who values themselves enough to walk away from anything that doesn't serve their highest good. And self-love and self-respect also mean that you do not feel the need to change who you are to fit someone else's vision of what a partner should be. When you have cultivated a strong sense of love and respect for yourself, you can step into a relationship from a place of wholeness, knowing that you bring your full, authentic self into the partnership. And you can trust that the right person will appreciate you for everything you are. In essence, when you love and respect yourself, you send a message to the universe that you are whole, complete, and deserving of the kind of love that honors your true essence. This is the secret to attracting not just any man, but a man who truly values you for who you are. You are not here to complete someone else, to be someone's fixer, or to be the perfect partner. You are here to share your life with someone who can meet you at the same level of love, respect, and authenticity that you have for yourself. When you have self-love and self-respect, you attract the kind of relationship that is based on equality, mutual appreciation, and deep emotional connection. So the first step to attracting the kind of man who will treat you with the respect and love you deserve: look inward. Cultivate the kind of love and respect for yourself that will set the standard for every relationship that follows. When you begin to honor your own worth, you will naturally draw others to you who recognize that same worth in you. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, especially in a world that praises strength, stoicism, and independence. But the truth is, vulnerability is the ultimate strength. It is the courage to be seen for who you truly are, the good, the bad, and everything in between. It is the willingness to open yourself up to another person, knowing that in doing so, you risk rejection, hurt, and discomfort. Yet it is also the path to the most meaningful, deep, and authentic connections we can experience. When it comes to attracting a quality man, the key isn't to hide behind walls or masks, pretending to be someone you're not in order to fit an idealized version of what you think they want. No, the secret is to have the courage to be vulnerable. It's about stepping into the fullness of who you are, imperfections and all, and trusting that you deserve someone who will accept you just as you are. Vulnerability allows you to show your true self without fear of judgment. It's not about being perfect or always having everything together. It's about being real. It's about sharing your fears, your dreams, your insecurities, your past hurts, and your deepest hopes for the future. It's about saying, this is me, this is who I am, and I am worthy of love and connection just as I am. The beauty of vulnerability is that it creates an invitation for others to be vulnerable as well. When we allow ourselves to be seen, truly seen, we give others the permission to do the same. Think about it for a moment. When someone is open, honest, and raw with you, doesn't it make you feel closer to them? Doesn't it build a bridge of trust and intimacy? The same happens when you are the one who is vulnerable. You create a space where emotional safety exists, where two people can connect beyond surface level exchanges and experience something real. But here's the thing about vulnerability: it requires courage. Courage to face your fears, courage to step into the unknown, courage to risk being hurt. And in relationships, courage to let someone in, even when you know it may not work out. Vulnerability without courage is simply fear, but vulnerability with courage is an invitation to the kind of intimacy and connection we all long for. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the willingness to move forward despite it. It's about recognizing that the potential for deep, meaningful love is worth the risk of potential pain. Often we're afraid of being vulnerable because we fear rejection or judgment. We fear that showing our true selves will push people away or make us unlovable. But what if the very thing we're most afraid of, rejection, is the thing that helps us find true connection? Think about the moments in your life when you felt most connected to another person. Were they moments when you were pretending to be someone you weren't, or were they the moments when you let down your guard and allowed someone to see your true self? It's in the moments of vulnerability that real love and intimacy can blossom. And here's the thing: when you show up vulnerably, you are not only giving another person the opportunity to connect with you more deeply, you are also showing them what it means to love and accept another person just as they are. But courage also means being able to walk away from situations and people who are not worthy of your vulnerability. It's about knowing that your openness and tenderness should be met with respect, care, and reciprocity. It's about understanding that you are not obligated to offer your heart to someone who does not show the same vulnerability or emotional maturity in return. Courage is about setting boundaries and saying, I am worthy of a love that honors and cherishes the person I am, not the person I pretend to be. Vulnerability and courage also require patience with others and with yourself. Sometimes we may feel the need to rush into emotional closeness, especially when we feel chemistry or attraction. But true vulnerability takes time. It takes building trust, one conversation at a time, one shared experience at a time. It's about allowing things to unfold naturally without forcing or rushing. It's about trusting that the right person will appreciate you for your authenticity and will meet you with the same emotional honesty and courage. Let's not forget that being vulnerable is not only about sharing the difficult parts of ourselves, it's also about celebrating the beautiful, joyful parts. It's about showing the world your light, the parts of you that shine with passion, creativity, and love. Often we're afraid to show our full selves because we fear being too much or too intense. But vulnerability means sharing your strengths, your dreams, your ambitions, and your hopes without fear of being judged or rejected for them. It's about owning the fullness of who you are, both your darkness and your light, and sharing that with someone who will see you and love you for it. In relationships, vulnerability is not a one-time thing. It's not something you do just once in order to get someone to like you. It's a continuous practice, a lifelong journey of being open, real, and honest with your partner. It's about continuing to share, to listen, to give, and to receive with openness, knowing that true intimacy can only thrive in an environment where both people feel safe enough to be vulnerable. When you live from a place of vulnerability and courage, you will attract a man who is emotionally available, honest, and ready for the depth of connection that you seek. He will appreciate the courage it took for you to show up as yourself, and he will do the same. Vulnerability and courage are not only the keys to attracting a quality man, they are the keys to building a relationship that is real, meaningful, and rooted in emotional intimacy. So let's stop hiding behind walls of protection. Let's stop pretending to be someone we are not in the hopes of attracting someone who may not even be right for us. Instead, let's have the courage to show up as we are vulnerable, imperfect, and full of love. Because in the end, it is our vulnerability and our courage that will lead us to the connection, the love, and the partnership we truly deserve. In a world that constantly promotes perfection, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we must be flawless to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. From social media to advertisements, from the expectations of others to the voices in our own heads, we are bombarded with the idea that imperfection is something to hide, something to correct, or something to avoid. But here's a truth that can change everything. Imperfection is not only inevitable, it is a strength. Our imperfections are what make us human. They are the parts of us that make us real, relatable, and deeply connected to one another. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who leave a lasting impact on your life. Are they perfect? Do they have flawless lives, bodies, or careers? Of course not. What makes them special? What makes them stand out? Is their ability to embrace their humanity, the parts of themselves that are imperfect, messy, and raw. It's these imperfections that create authenticity, vulnerability, and depth. When we allow ourselves to embrace our imperfections, we stop trying to live up to an unrealistic standard. We stop measuring our worth by how closely we can conform to someone else's idea of what is beautiful, successful, or lovable. Instead, we accept that we are enough as we are, imperfections and all. This doesn't mean we stop striving for growth or improvement. It means we stop beating ourselves up for not being perfect. We recognize that growth comes not from trying to be flawless, but from accepting where we are right now and making space for progress, change, and learning. Our imperfections also invite empathy and connection. When we reveal the parts of ourselves that are less than perfect, the fears we face, the mistakes we've made, the things we struggle with, we create opportunities for others to connect with us on a deeper level. People are drawn to authenticity, and nothing is more authentic than admitting that we are not perfect. When we hide behind a facade of perfection, we distance ourselves from others. But when we embrace our imperfections, we give others permission to do the same. This fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships based on mutual understanding and acceptance. Think about the moments when you felt most connected to others. More often than not, these moments have occurred when someone has shared something vulnerable, something real. Maybe it's a story of overcoming a challenge, a moment of self-doubt, or a fear that they are still working through. These imperfections are what make us truly human and what makes others feel like they are not alone. When we embrace imperfection, we allow ourselves to connect with others in ways that are authentic, raw, and unfiltered. It's in these moments that the strongest bonds are formed. When we accept our imperfections, we also begin to redefine what success and happiness truly mean. We stop comparing ourselves to others and start creating our own definition of what it means to be successful. Success doesn't mean living up to someone else's standards. It means being true to yourself and honoring your journey, imperfections and all. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about taking imperfect steps forward, learning from every stumble, and celebrating every small victory along the way. Furthermore, embracing imperfection opens the door to creativity and innovation. When we let go of the need for everything to be flawless, we create space for experimentation, risk-taking, and growth. It's in the messy, imperfect moments that breakthroughs happen. Perfectionism stifles creativity because it keeps us paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. But imperfection is freedom. It's the freedom to try, to fail, to learn, and to improve. When we embrace imperfection, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences that we would otherwise miss if we were too afraid of making a mistake. Our imperfections also teach us resilience. Every time we face a setback, every time we fall short of our own expectations, we have a choice. We can let our imperfections define us, or we can use them as opportunities to grow stronger. It is in these moments that we learn the most about ourselves. We learn how to rise, how to persevere, and how to show up again, even when things aren't perfect. Imperfection teaches us that we are capable of much more than we think. It shows us that our worth is not defined by how flawless we appear, but by how we handle life's challenges and continue moving forward, regardless of our shortcomings. In relationships, embracing imperfection is key to creating genuine, lasting connections. When we let go of the pressure to be perfect, we allow ourselves to be more present with others. We stop worrying about how we look, how we come across, and whether we are doing everything right. Instead, we focus on being authentic and true to ourselves. This fosters deeper intimacy and trust. When both partners in a relationship can be imperfect together, it creates a sense of safety and understanding. There's no need for pretense or facade, just two people who accept and love each other for who they truly are, flaws and all. The reality is, no one is perfect. We all have our flaws, our scars, our missteps. But those imperfections are what make us who we are. They give us our unique story, our lessons learned, and our ability to empathize with others. When we embrace imperfection, we stop trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for us. Instead, we begin to live authentically, and in doing so, we attract people and opportunities that appreciate us for the real, imperfect, and beautiful individuals we are. Imperfection is not a weakness. It is a strength, a testament to our humanity, our growth, and our resilience. And it is in embracing imperfection that we find the courage to live our truth, create deeper connections, and build lives that are rich with meaning, authenticity, and love. When we talk about attracting the right person, many of us are tempted to think that it's about finding someone who checks all the boxes on a list of traits, values, or physical characteristics. We focus on what we want in a partner, but the real secret to attracting the right kind of relationship is not just about identifying what we desire in another person, it's about becoming the embodiment of those very qualities ourselves. Embodied qualities are not just about wishing for certain traits in others, they are about internalizing those traits within ourselves, living them out every day, and showing up as the person we hope to attract. If you want love, compassion, and honesty, you must first practice and embody these things within your own life. If you want trust, respect, and kindness from a partner, you need to start by being trustworthy, respectful, and kind toward yourself and those around you. The power of embodied qualities lies in the law of attraction. What you put out into the world is often what you attract back. You cannot expect someone to offer you love, empathy, or loyalty if you do not first cultivate those qualities in your own life. This is not about perfection, it's about consistency and intentionality. When you show up every day as the person who lives those values, you start to naturally attract others who resonate with that energy. The first step is self-awareness. What qualities do you value most in a partner? Whether it's integrity, humor, or ambition, ask yourself if you embody those same traits in your life. Do you hold yourself to the standards of honesty and integrity that you expect from others? Do you treat yourself with kindness and compassion? Embodying these qualities requires you to actively live by them, not just speak about them or hope for them. It's about practicing these traits in your daily life, and in turn, you will attract someone who reflects those same values. For example, if you seek a partner who is emotionally available, someone who is open, vulnerable, and willing to communicate, you must first ask yourself if you are emotionally available. Do you allow yourself to be vulnerable in your relationships, to express your feelings openly, or do you hold back, afraid to show your true emotions? If you are seeking someone who respects boundaries, do you respect your own boundaries first? The energy you send out into the world is what will attract similar energy back to you. Becoming the embodiment of the qualities you seek is not a superficial exercise, it's a deep transformational process. It means aligning your actions with your desires. If you want a partner who values personal growth, for example, you must commit to your own growth, whether that means pursuing your passions, engaging in continuous learning, or working through your own emotional and psychological blocks. Growth in relationships, just like growth in life, is a mutual experience. When you prioritize personal development, you not only become a more fulfilled and self-aware person, but you also become a more attractive partner. Furthermore, embodying the qualities you seek in a partner also means becoming self-sufficient and secure in who you are. You cannot expect someone to fill a void inside of you if you do not already feel whole and complete on your own. Healthy relationships are built on the foundation of two whole individuals who come together to enhance each other's lives, not to complete each other. When you become comfortable in your own skin, when you have confidence in your own abilities and worth, you naturally exude a magnetic energy that draws others in. It's also about the energy you carry with you. Do you walk into a room with confidence, not arrogance, but with the quiet assurance that you have value to offer? Do you engage with others in a way that is grounded, positive, and compassionate? People are attracted to energy that feels grounded and stable, not to someone who is desperate or anxious about validation. When you feel secure and centered in yourself, you will attract people who are on the same wavelength, people who value those same qualities. In relationships, embodied qualities create a sense of balance and harmony.